Job 3, may the day of my birth perish, and the night that said a boy is conceived, that day may it turn to darkness. May God above not care about it. May no light shine on it. May gloom and utter darkness claim it once more. May a cloud settle over it. May blackness overwhelm it. Being no stranger to suffering, and often caused by myself, although recently not so much, but I have found myself there, wishing that I had never been born many times in my life, or planning my own self-conclusion. Not recently, but years ago, especially when I was an atheist, and some other times, definitely a lot of times where I was planning self-conclusion. Needless to say, no stranger to great senses of grief and personal tragedy, and some recent episodes and some things I was dealing with. I'm continually drawn to Job 38, when the Lord speaks to Job out of the storm, and he starts with, "Who is this that obscures my plan with words without knowledge? Brace yourself like a man, I will question you. Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation?" I continually come to this passage in Job, Job 38 through Job 41. It lays out approximately 60 questions which the Lord is asking of Job. And I was just watching a sermon on this at midnight, because that's what Jesus decided I was going to do. And it came to some conclusions here, which maybe you'll hear these conclusions and you'll think, yeah, that's obvious and you're an idiot. But one, no events happen in a vacuum. No circumstance happens in isolation. All is interwoven and interconnected. One event is interconnected with thousands of other events. To truly understand why one tragedy is occurring, or to understand why a few tragedies are occurring simultaneously, one must understand thousands upon thousands of other events. There is one God, and we are not him. And that's what's being addressed in Job 38. Whenever the Lord is asking all these questions of Job, he is pointing to the fact that there is so much knowledge which you lack. So whenever you're blaming me in this circumstance of tragedy, you're not taking everything into account. Of course, Job will repent then, I believe in Job 42, and or close to Job 42. And then further on in Job, he'll be blessed with double the portion of what he had before everything was removed from him. You know, all his family died. He suffered great physical ailments. But yeah, that's the encouraging word here today, that instead of focusing on the tragedies of our life, we should focus on the magnificence of God. Understand that we are a creation, not the creator, and that the Lord's will is working, not ours. It's easy to say that whenever his will is lining up with our will, right? And we're getting everything we want. We're as successful as we want to be. Our health is in good standing. Our family's health is in good standing. But whenever those things are off, it gets really, really, really hard to trust God. You know, we look at the disciples on the ship with Jesus in the storm, and we're like, how could you guys be so afraid? Jesus is with you. But we do the same thing in the storms of our own lives. Christ is king. Every knee will bow. The Bible's words, not mine.